All right, everyone. Hello, good afternoon. I thought I'd do a stock update. Let me bring this down here a little bit. All right, so let's discuss Zip first of all. So Zip, I'm in. Let me go to Zip here. 677. So we closed at 592 in the end. So I added a little more. I added 2,500 worth at yesterday when it was breaking out. And I'm not super concerned by this. I'll bring up the daily now. Just woke up from a nap, so I apologize if I'm a little bit, slow to react to things, but it's quite a violent chart. But I still see some upside. I was looking for a breakout there. Really, we'd like, if a catalyst came about, that would be nice to see. 572 could be revisited potentially. And I'm fine with that. I'm sort of in this for more of a longer term play. My thesis would be over Christmas we're going to see, some good numbers, and then next quarter reporting is going to be pretty pleasing. So the next quarter would be, that was on August, so in March, so that's what I'll be doing. I'll be holding at least to March, and we'll see what happens there, guys. So that's 7,500 worth. Here's the portfolio. So full transparency, it's exactly what I'm doing. O-Media has been pretty pleasant for me as well. Obviously, everything else is everything else. I'm in ABB, Credit Clear, CSL. I'm green on CSL actually by a little bit, but as you can see, everything else is actually RLG. This could be interesting tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's that. So, and my fades really by DOU or IU. EM1, this could potentially be delisted. I'm in that. Obviously, that's what I'm in it at. So we'll see about that. But if honestly, that was an impulsive trade. I won't lie. So I deserve the full loss there. Here's some ETF positions that I'm in as well with stock spots. So added a little bit more to gold and some Australian shares as well. So hoping for some continuation. What else am I in? I'll show you I'm in Tesla as well. So I'm in Tesla as well. I got in at 432, and I believe it was like, how many shares? 8 shares there. I'm also in stake as well. So this has actually been pretty pleasing. Total return on that, so that's not too bad. So I used stake whilst I was waiting so this is within the international arm of ComSec, so you can trade international shares. I'll be looking to maybe get into a few more shares as well. I'll close this now. I'll go on a bit of a watch list now, so with Tesla, we'll just see how that's been going. So we'll pivot now to some international shares. So that's down a little bit, down 2% or so. Still fine with that. I see, there's some still decent potential here, and it's the main electric vehicle company as well. A little bit of chop around here, but my original position was around 388 or so. My original entry on when this was sort of happening as a dip buy that I got into. Go to Apple now, see what that's doing. You might be wondering, like, Scott, what's going on? These are sort of large size portfolio. I don't have a house, at all, and I don't mind. So I'm really very much focused on trading. So, that's a disclaimer. So you might be thinking, I've got a house as well. Not at all. I occasionally sleep at the gym that I work at. So you might be thinking like, wow. But, my thesis on property is that there'll be more downside in Perth as well. Population growth is down here. Incomes are down, like growth-wise. So I'm not, honestly, like right now, I'm not particularly phased on that at all. So I need to disclose that. So if you're watching that, is this, I'm not a bowler at all, but I sold my house a little while ago, and I've been monitoring the markets for quite some time. But Apple as well, I see still potential here as well. It's going to be a little interesting to see what happens in the next month or two with all these court hearings, and it's unprecedented. I was just, I'm just doing some research on it. It's, this for Donald Trump to swing this, it's never happened before. But Donald Trump is, an anomaly in politics globally, especially in a democracy. So, obviously there have been probably crazier leaders than Donald Trump, to be fair. Now, okay, let's go into a little bit of a watch list of what I'm looking at doing. We'll go US stuff first. So it would be PBW. And shout out to my man Jackson for pointing this out to me. He did some research, good quality research as well. So PBW is an ETF. You can buy that on the ComSec International arm as well. So again, it's very easy to do online. You just click International, you sign a form. It's easy, and there's a lot of possibilities here, guys. I'll be talking about this. So let's go to the weekly. So it has taken off pretty strongly. This would just be a trend continuation thing. Ideally, I'd love to see a little bit of a pullback here, because it really has sort of. But I only really researched it properly very recently, so it has broken out. It for me, I'd be holding this for several years. So PBW, and then TAN is a solar play, I believe. Yes, that's in the US market. So that's something, again, I'll be looking at doing. Might offer a little bit better value. So similar. So something I've been sleeping on a little bit. And then JET is an ETF for American Airlines company. So as you can see, it really took a bit of a hammering. I'm going to sip my coffee again, guys. I'm sorry. But interesting. Now with my stock spot stuff, I did get into gold recently as well after it dropped. So you see this is still holding up pretty strong. I see some upside still with gold too. More of a trend play. And then, so that's probably it for, you could go to other individual travel stocks and even cruise ships, like in the US, but I'm just not brave enough to do that. But for example, let's bring up TSTRA. What's TSTRA? And thank you, Aaron, for reminding me about TSTRA, because you know what? This is actually a pretty good looking chart, man. Have I done a lot of research? No, Jackson. I said I was going to do some research. I napped a bit and then woke up, and I was just mucking around on my phone on YouTube for a little while. So, Telstra is interesting. There's some potential there. Now, in regards to catalysts or anything, I'm just going from a purely technical standpoint here. Like, obviously, the market has seen something. That's bouncing. So it's something, and it's also heavily down from where it was. If we go to the monthly chart, give you a bit of perspective. That is quite the aggressive run-up. That is fucking gorgeous. So it still has some upside, and it likes to bounce and run a little bit. So, in regards to 5G, I know I use Telstra, and there are 5G, and they're increasing it. So they're probably going to spend a little more on infrastructure. But again, more updates to come on that play, but that's definitely on the cards. And Qantas as well. I used to work for Qantas, and I'm a part of the superannuation program still, so which has been performing okay, to be fair. But Qantas, currently at 507. I'd love to see this gap close. I'm not just going to jump in here, but it is down a little bit. And we're going to see increased airline activity. So Qantas is definitely one. Qantas and Telstra are on the immediate watch list for entries. Also, another one I've been informed about is Bet, and another sip of the coffee. And there's a Mars bar here ready to go. Ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry if a beginner trader is watching this. I'm all over the place. Take some notes. Smarten up. Just, if you've got some money, why have it in savings senselessly? Interest rates aren't going to go up in years and years. You know why? Because the government want people to borrow money. Construction is a huge sector in Australia, and they want people to borrow money and buy houses. And frankly, I've owned a couple houses, and it's just I love the markets. So that's why this is it's not a small portfolio. For me, it's not anyway. I also have a $50,000 managed Forex account as well. Let's bring that. I paused the video a couple times and gone back because I'm still literally a little bit hazy. So that's why I've done that. So I can find in the bookmarks. I have so many goddamn things in my bookmark. But that's how it's looking. I mean, it hasn't been spectacular. It's been so-so. Like October was pretty good. They take 30% though. So, I mean, fire me off a DM or whatever if you want to know. They use SamTrade FX. But it's a Forex briefcase. But if you want to know more, I'm the Australian account manager for that. So, they're pretty decent. And Jin's a great guy, and they're based in Singapore, so that's 50,000 USD in that as well. So, I guess if you see like my channel, my Instagram, you're like, is this guy? I have a lot of skin in the game. I really do. So, and I'm comfortable. Very comfortable with where it's allocated. There's a couple of speculative plays you've probably seen, like DOU, IOU. I'm a believer in DOU. I'm going to hold that one. I mean, IOU, we'll see. And Credit Clear, we'll see. EM1, who knows? Probably get delisted. I might hashtag EM1. We might get some fanboy come up with some information. But, I mean, I'm a fanboy too. But I just haven't researched. And I did in getting into it. And, that's that. Okay, so Bet. Let's really just go from a technical standpoint here. This is really what I sort of do. It's interesting. Online gambling. Look, it's very choppy. I'd love to see it come down a little further. So that's my thoughts on that. All right, I'm just going to pause here and just contemplate what else I need to talk about. I thought I would just share with people a little more of an in-depth scope of how I see the markets and my portfolio as well. So, now in regards to the ETF plan, it's probably going to be 5,000 on travel, 5,000 on renewable energy. So TAN 2.5, PBW 2.5 as initial entries, and then I know they're up high, but I see further upside, and the way of the future. There's going to be a couple more plays as well on some. Maybe Neo as well. Let's bring Neo up. That's another one. This is not planned, this video. I just thought it would be good for me to review things in my mind and put it up on YouTube for free, so you can just, hopefully it helps. Because I've been watching this, the guy I used to live with would definitely say that I watched a lot of shit. So about finance. So now Neo, oh my goodness, that's a run. So that's like parabolic. I'm going to have to just, I mean, if you're an aggressive trend trader, just add to it, and again, there's probably more upside there, especially, with EV stuff and anything China related. It's, Joe Biden brings in a little bit more warmth towards China as well, is what I would say. So my allocation, 5,000 to, like travel ETFs, so 5,000 travel ETFs, 5,000 to renewables, and and then 5,000 to, well, there's solar and there's renewables, so it'll be 2.5 each, and then 5,000 to airlines, and then in regards to individual allocations to stocks, that will be something I will review as well. But that's my initial plan. So. And anything else new comes up, I'm just sitting here thinking I've probably missed something with the ETFs. Airlines, 5,000 to the airlines. 5,000 to the airlines. That's travel though, but jets in particular. So I don't think I said the travel one in that list, but I did show you jets as well. I'll show you jets again, just to remind myself about that. Needs to close the gap though. And then TSTRA, QANTAS, they're on the ASX. But you can trade international stocks, guys, or US stocks using ComSec as well. Stake I used, but I'm a little more comfortable like putting a portfolio together on ComSec. So I won't be adding on Stake. again. All right, guys. So that is the update. I know a lot of people don't watch the video, but I'll distribute this around. I have like 15,000 connections on LinkedIn. Most of them I've just added myself, so I've reached the limit of ads. But I hope this gets somewhere and it helps. In regards to like what's going on globally with presidential stuff, markets will continue going higher. And it's a great feeling when your money's working for you as well. So if you're in doubt and you're like, what do I do? This, that. Be very cautious. Like, do not just like go into a chat room, put a lot of money aggressively into a penny stock. If you're okay to lose that money, that's fine. But if you're not, please don't do that. It's probably my final thoughts on this. All right, guys. Anyway, there's probably going to be more stuff to add. I'll try and do this a little more often as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and bye for now.